What's going on, everyone? So, according to Jovan Buha, the Lakers are more likely to stand pat or make a half-measure trade rather than go all in on a big move, per Jovan Buha. The sense around the league, when talking to rival scouts and front office personnel, is that standing pat or making a half-measure trade, likely one or two second-round picks, is more likely than the Lakers going all in and trading both of their future first-round picks that can be moved. That's dependent, of course, on the available players, asking prices, and the team's performance through the trade deadline. Now, here's the thing. A couple things about this. One, a lot of people I've seen in the comments and stuff and through live streams be like, Lakers said, Lakers didn't say anything, right? Jovan Buha didn't even say that the Lakers said it. What he said is that there is this sense based on people he's talked to from other organizations, right? Other scouts, other organizations, right? You hear and see stuff all the time from people. Rob Pelinka has said publicly 3 times that he's willing to trade the first round pick. Shams even recently reported that Lakers would be willing to trade the first. But it has to make sense, right? You're not like, I've talked about this before. Why would you, if you could buy a car that you want for $10,000, why would you pay 20 or 50? It makes no sense. Get the car at the price that you can get it at, the cheapest price you can get it at, right? So who is worth giving up a first for right now? Right? Like, even guys like Zach LaVine and stuff like that, you probably shouldn't have to give up first because of his contract and all that stuff. Nikola Vucevic supposedly can be had for a couple seconds, right? Like, you have all these players, Bruce Brown, all probably going for second. So why would you give up first? Also, you could do pick swaps and all other stuff. So you're better off saving the first and then getting in the offseason. And what if a premier guy ends up becoming available? Now you have 3 or 4 firsts that you can trade now because more will open up in the offseason and you can go make that significant move. Right? Like, why? Like, I don't want to see I've always said this and maintained it. I don't want to see the Lakers make a trade just to make a trade. I don't want to see the Lakers make a pointless move just to make a pointless move. The move has to make sense. The trade has to make sense. You can't just give up a first just to give up a first because we're all like, F them picks. It is still F them picks, without a doubt. Right? And Rob Pelinka, from what he says it feels the same way. But, again, it has to be, you can't just trade first for guys that you can get for seconds or a pick swap. Right? Like, you need to take those firsts and turn those firsts into guys that would require first, to get that significant piece, to get those pieces that you need. Right? As far as them not making a big trade or a significant trade, right? The big swing trade, a LaVine, a Brandon Ingram. My question, too, is like, what is considered, the all-in trade? Is the all-in trade a Zach LaVine, right? Where you're going and getting another kind of max level guy? Is it like a Nikola Vucevic, where it's like anybody over, 15 million is considered that, right? Like, because that's the thing, like a small, like a minor move or something like that. Well, what is the class? How do the Lakers perceive that? Like, if minor moves, right, or second round moves are a Nikola Vucevic and like a Bruce Brown, well, then there you go, right? Or is it like a Valanciunas? Is it a, is it a Jeremy Grant? Is it a, is it just like role guys? Is it like a Josh Green and a Cody Martin, right? Because, again, all of these things are very different. All of these things have different, kind of classifications, right? We might be looking at like, oh man, a marginal move is like, them going and acquiring, like I said, a Day'Ron Sharpe or a Valanciunas and calling it a night, right? But to them, it might be a Nikola Vucevic and, another piece, right? Or just Nikola Vucevic. Like, big difference between a 20 and 10 guy that could be your starter than, a young off the bench guy. Right? So I do think that these are all things that need to be considered and kind of take into account when we're talking about this stuff, because there is a lot that kind of goes into it. And like, where are the Lakers headspace at? Also conversations that are had. Lakers tags, what has Rob Pelinka had discussions on, what kind of moves are there that can and cannot be done, so on and so forth, right? Like, Lakers need to continue to be patient. Obviously, we all want trades. I want to trade. I wish we had the roster fully completed, ready to go, and we're contending for championships, right? But the reality is that it's probably not going to happen. Like, you got to be patient. no trade is better than a bad trade. I still always maintain that. But I mean, the Lakers have already made a trade. I don't want them to stand pat there. I don't want it to be Dorian Finney-Smith and that's it. But chances are they're probably going to make another one, right? Like, they'll at least trade their seconds, which is what essentially Jovan said, right? Like, half empty type trades. Like, so what is that? Is that, like I said, is that a Nikola Vucevic? I still maintain Bruce Brown and, like, Jonas Valanciunas are probably the two guys that the Lakers end up bringing in. Jonas Valanciunas and Bruce Brown are probably the two guys that I still think and maintain are most likely. Obviously, again, that could change. That could be different. Maybe Lakers come out of left field with somebody else, right? It's always a possibility. I just think that realistically speaking, I think Bruce Brown still gives the Lakers the flexibility. He's a guy that wanted to be with the Lakers, that was going to sign with the Lakers until the Indiana Pacers showed up and were like, hey, we'll double what the Lakers are giving you, right? Like, all of these things, like, I think he's a guy that the Lakers know we could still kind of do some stuff in the offseason, which shouldn't cost any first-round picks. You get a guy that actually solves a need and fixes a hole that the Lakers have, which is perimeter defense, a guy that can initiate and bring the ball up, right? He's not like this true playmaker, but he's a guy, you don't necessarily need that. You just need somebody that can slot in, get you in your actions, and start going, right? Which is what he did in Denver. I just think you look at kind of what we're seeing here from Toronto, and from the Lakers, I do think the Raptors trade for Bruce Brown is very likely, and then also potentially a move for like a Jonas Valanciunas. So you solve your kind of guard, your perimeter issue, and then you solve your center issue, your backup center issue, which I think those two guys are fine, right? Does it make us a contender? I don't know. I think it depends on how things shape up, right? Like, if you can turn Rui, Jalen Hood-Schifino, and Christian Wood into Bruce Brown, and then turn Gabe Vincent into Jonas Valanciunas, and then Jared Vanderbilt coming back, right? So that's another piece. And then you free up 2 roster spots to sign a guy or two. Maybe you're bringing in like a Markelle Fultz and something else. Right, all of a sudden you start piecing things together, and it's like, again, you add 3, 4, 5 guys, completely change this team. It's a completely new team. And so you don't know would they be a contender? I don't know. Would they be the best team? I don't know, right? It really depends on how it all kind of shape up, how it all kind of come together. But I do think that the potential is there. I do think, Bruce Brown, I think, solves a lot for the Lakers. Doesn't solve everything. It's not the cure-all, but I do think it solves a lot. I think a Bruce Brown, Austin Reeves, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis is far better starting 5 than what we currently got right now. It's just much more balanced. You got real athletes, real defense players, real hustle guys, real grit, toughness, all of that. I'd prefer that than, what you have right now. Max Christie stays on the bench, now gets the bench role. I said, you go get a Jonas Valanciunas, you bring in a Markelle Fultz and, a Trey Jamison or something like that. Now you're off to the races. I like the idea, but, you got to do something. LeBron James and Anthony Davis aren't getting younger. They're only getting older, right? Like, you can't put them in a position to where it's like, they're feeling like nothing's getting done. There's already reports coming out that they're kind of antsy and feel like nothing of significance is going to happen, and it's just, can't do that. Lakers have to make a move. They have to do something. They have to put the Lakers back in a position to at least give us a shot, right? Like, if you make the move that brings us close to where now in the offseason you're like a move or two away, then sure. But as of like standing pat where we're at, we're just not good enough. It just isn't a good enough basketball team. That's just the reality, unfortunately. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Kind of mixed in the middle? What do you want to see happen? Do you think the Lakers should make that big splash trade? Do you think no, just kind of be patient, stay patient. Even if it is a Valanciunas and a Bruce Brown, that's better than nothing. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it either way. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.